Amnesty International is a global movement of more than 7 million people who take injustice personally. They are campaigning for a world where human rights are enjoyed by all. They are funded by members and people like you. They are independent of any political ideology, economic interest, or religion. No government is beyond scrutiny, no situation is beyond hope. What does Amnesty do? They investigate and expose the facts whenever and wherever abuses happen. By telling the powerful stories of people they work with, they mobilize millions of supporters around the world to campaign for change and to stand in defense of activists on the front line. They support to claim their rights through education and training. Amnesty International tackles issues like armed conflict, arms control, corporate accountability, death penalty, detention, disappearances, discrimination, freedom of expression, indigenous peoples, international justice, living in dignity, people on the move, sexual and reproductive rights, torture, and United Nations. How does Amnesty International affect change? First, they research the issue worldwide. Then they advocate and press governments and companies to do the right thing. Then they campaign and take action to make the change.
In 1961, British lawyer Peter Benenson was outraged when 2 Portuguese students were jailed just for raising a toast to freedom. He wrote an article in the Observer newspaper and launched a campaign that provoked an incredible response. Reprinted in newspapers across the world, his call to action sparked the idea that people everywhere can unite in solidarity for justice and freedom. This inspiring moment didn't just give a birth to an extraordinary movement. It was the start of an extraordinary social change.
Here are some of their important accomplishments throughout the years. In 1961, they had their first mission to Ghana, which saw 152 political prisoners released because of their pressure. By 1969, 4,000 prisoners had been adopted and half had been released since the founding of Amnesty International. 1,059 prisoners were released in 1974 alone. They won a Nobel Peace Prize in 1977 and a UN Human Rights Award in 1978. In 1985, their mission was broadened to include work for refugees. In 1988, Human Rights Now campaign and concert toured in 15 countries. In 1993, it marked their first meeting with the British Prime Minister concerning China, former Yugoslavia, and the plight of political refugees. They started their Human Rights Are Women's Rights campaign in 1994, and in 1999, campaign drew attention to 300,000 child soldiers around the world. In 2005, Amnesty International became the world's largest independent human rights organization.
Amnesty International has shifted from a large London base to open regional offices in the cities in Africa, Asia Pacific, Central and Eastern Europe, Latin America, and the Middle East. These offices are major hubs for our investigations, campaigns, and communications. We can now respond quickly to events wherever they happen and be a powerful force for freedom and justice. To stay one step ahead, we are also developing tools using the latest technologies, such as a mobile phone app that acts as a panic button for activists at daily risk of being arrested or detained.
There are a few ways you can join Amnesty International. You can sign a petition, volunteer, or become a member. Whatever you want to do, you can take action today and become part of a global movement standing together for human rights across the world. One of the most interesting ways to get involved is the Write a Letter, Change a Life program. Every December, Amnesty supporters across the globe will write millions of letters for people whose basic human rights are being attacked. It's all about the part for Write for Rights, the global letter writing marathon. It's one of the world's biggest human rights events and carries on a long tradition of people like writing letters to right some of the world's biggest wrongs. It's not just letters, it can be petitions, emails, tweets, Facebook posts, photos, postcards. Whatever you think will have the biggest impact and help bring about change. Volunteering is also another great way to get involved. Volunteers are a treasured resource for the organization, and their contributions have made the Amnesty movement what it is. Should you wish to volunteer your time to Amnesty, you may be asked to assist the work through such things as monitoring the international press, translating, undertaking research tasks, participating in online communities, raising funds, assisting the human rights education, supporting your human resources and accounting programs, or learning your own specialist expertise to an area of the work. Donating is also another great way to help Amnesty International fight to free prisoners of conscience, abolish the death penalty, stop violence against women, and ensure the human rights of all people. You can donate at donate.amnestyusa.org.
There are so many ways to get involved in Amnesty International. Your actions can help bring torturers to justice, change laws to stop violence against women, or release people from jail for just speaking out. So take action today and help protect people's human rights across the world. And I would like to ask the GHS administration to seriously consider creating an Amnesty International club. With this club, we can raise money and awareness, which would help the cause. Thank you very much for listening.